You all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 7 math, and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter ratios, rates, and proportions. The lessons we're going to cover today are unit rates, equivalent ratios, word problems, compare ratios, word problems, and scale drawings, word problems. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down examples and definitions as here I'm on grade 7 math. The chapter we are on right now is ratios, rates, and proportions. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is unit rates. Okay, find the unit rate. Unit rate means you need to find the value of one thing, right? So 12 seats in two rows. So that means you need to see how many seats in one row. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That is 6 seats per row. That is 6 seats per row. Let's just start with the test questions. Find the unit rate, 16 deliveries in 4 hours. So you need to calculate how many deliveries per hour. 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that means 4 deliveries per hour. The correct option is option number 1, that is 4 deliveries per hour. Find the unit rate, 18 cupcakes in 3 boxes. So how many cupcakes per box? So 18 divided by 3 equals 18 divided by 3 is 6. That is 6 cupcakes per box. The correct option is 6. Option number 1 is the correct option. Eighteen orders in 3 days. So how many orders per day? You need to divide 18 by 3. So 18 divided by 3 equals 6 orders per day. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 6 orders per day. Twelve seats in 2 rows. Find the unit rate. So which is the correct option? So 12 divided by 2 equals that is 6 seats per row. Option number 1 is the correct option. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That is 6 seats per row. 12 books in 2 boxes. So how many books per boxes? So 12 divided by 2 is 6. That means 6 books per box. That is 6 books per box. Option number 2 is the correct option. 18 houses on 3 blocks. So how many houses per block? That is 18 divided by 3 is 6 houses per block. Twelve chairs at 2 tables. So which is the correct option? 12 divided by 2 is 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. So 6 chairs per table. 15 passengers in 5 cars. So which is the correct option? 5 times 3 is 15. So that means 3 passengers per car. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself every today. Let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is equivalent ratios word problems. Are these ratios equivalent? 18 pedestrians 4 years and 9 pedestrians 2 years. You need to see if the ratios are equivalent. So that is, let's just write them down in fraction form. 18 over 4 equals 9 over 2. So just cross multiply. 2 times 18 is 36 and 4 times 9 is 36. So both sides are exactly equivalent. So that means the fractions are equivalent. Let's just start with the test questions. Are these ratios equivalent? 10 old razors to 15 new razors and 6 old razors to 9 new razors. So 10 divided by 15 and that equals 6 divided by. So let's just do cross multiplication. That is 10 times 9 and 15 times 6. 10 times 9 is 90 and 15 times 6 is 90. So yes, they are exactly equivalent. Option number 1 is the correct option. Yes, they are equivalent. Are these ratios equivalent? That is 12 cents for 6 times and 4 cents for 2 times. So 6 times 4 equals 12 times 2. 6 times 4 is 24 and 12 times 2 is 24. So both sides are exactly equal, right? That means are these ratios equivalent? Yes, they are exactly equivalent. Option number 1 is the correct option. Are these ratios equivalent? 1 boy to 2 girls and 17 boys to 18 girls. So which is the correct option? No, they are not the equivalent ratios. Option number 2 is the correct option. Very good. Are these ratios equivalent 10 for every 9 pages, 20 for every 18 pages? So that is 10 to 9 and 20 to 18. So which is the correct option? Are these ratios equivalent? Option number one is the correct option. Yes, they are equivalent. Option number one is the correct option. These ratios equivalent 4 cookies to 8 brownies and 19 cookies to 18 brownies. So which is the correct option? Yes or no? No, they are not equivalent. Option number two is the correct option. Are these ratios equivalent? 10 medium folks to 7 small folks and 9 medium folks to 10 small folks. So which is the correct option? The correct option is no, they are not equivalent. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself. If they, let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is compare ratios with problems. The next, let's just start with the test questions. Mr. Livingston and Mr. Howell took polls of their second grade classes to find out their students' favorite colors. In Mr. Livingston class, 10 students said their favorite color was blue and 8 said their favorite color was red. So Mr. Livingston class, 10 students to 8. In Mr. Howell's class, 11 voted for blue and 10 voted for red. Whose class had a lower ratio of students who preferred blue to students who preferred red? So this is the ratio for the Livingston's class, and this is the ratio to the Howell's class. You need to calculate, I think the percentage. Hold on. Let me just calculate it in percentage form, right? Just convert both of them into percentage form. 10 over 8, convert it into percentage form. So 10 over 8 times 100 is 1.25 times 100. That is 125%. And now convert this 11 by 10 also in percentage form. So 1.1 times 100 is 110%. So you need to see whose ratio, so Whoville's class had the lower ratio, that is 110%. Living's class had 125%. So option number one is the correct option. So when you have to compare the ratios, you always convert them into percentage form and then you can compare. So that is Mrs. Whoville's. In the fall, Whitney's catering company catered 15 small scale events and 20 large scale events. In the winter, they catered 10 small events and 14 large scale ones. During which season did Whitney's catering company cater a lower to small scale to large scale events? That is 15 small scale events to 20 large scale events. And the winter, they catered 10 small to 14 small. So you have to see during which season Whitney's catering company catered a lower ratio. So let's just convert these fractions into percentage form. So 15 divided by 20, that is 0.75 times 100. So that is 75%. Now 10 divided by 14, that is 71%. So which one has the lower ratio? The correct option is who has the lower ratio you need to find. So that means in winter, that is the lower ratio. So the correct option is winters. Option number two is the correct option. Erica went on a 2-day fishing trip. On the first day, she caught 2 trout and 14 salmons. On the second day, she caught 4 trouts and 15 salmons. On which day of the fishing trip did Erica catch a lower ratio of the trout to fish? So 2 trout to 14 salmons to, and 4 trout to 15 salmon. So which is the correct option? So that is 2 by 14 times 100. Let's just convert the answer into percentage form. 14% it is, and 4 over 15 is 26%. So, on which day the fishing trip did Erica catch a lower ratio? So, on the first day, right? Option number one is the correct option. The first day it is. In Mr. Franklin's history class, 12 of the students received A's and 10 received B's. In social studies class, 19 of the A's and 15 got B's. So, in which class Mr. Franklin gave out a higher ratio of A's to B's? So, which is the correct option? That is social studies. Option number two is the correct option. Blue Point Middle School's orchestra has 15 violin players and 10 flute players. Rockport Middle School's orchestras, on the other hand, has 20 violins and 14 flute players. Which middle school has a lower ratio of violin to flute players? So, which is the correct option? The correct option is option number one, that is Blue Point Middle School. Option number one is the correct option, that is Blue Point Middle School. So, that is option number B. Rockport Middle School it is, sorry. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself for today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is scale drawings word problems. Let's just start with the test questions. Mandy made a scale drawing of the town library. The scale she used was 1 centimeter equal 10 meters. If the actual length of the parking lot is 60 meters, how long is the parking lot in the drawing? So 1 centimeter to 10 meters, that is the scale, right? That means you are going to represent 10 meters that equals 1 centimeter. So if the actual length of the parking lot is 60 meters, you need to see how long is it in the drawing. So 10 times 6 is 60. That means 1 times 6 is 6. So option number 2 is the correct option. It would be option number 2, that is 6. Keenan made a scale drawing of the auditorium. The scale he used was 1 inch equal 10 feet. In that drawing, the stage is 5 inches long. What is the length of the actual stage? So the scale is 1 inch to 10 feet. That means if that is 10 feet, you need to represent it by the 1 inch. So that is 5 inches represented in the drawing. We need to find the actual length. So 1 times 5 is 5 and 10 times 5 is. Option number 2, 1 is the correct option. That is 50 feet. Gave a scale drawing of a shopping center. The scale she used was 1 inch to 4 feet. The actual width of the bakery in the shopping center is 44 feet. How wide is the bakery in the drawing? So, which is the correct option? That is 11 inches. Option number 2 is the correct option. Very good. Vicky drew a scale drawing of a community college. A building at the college is 23 millimeters long in the drawing. The actual building is 230 meters long. What is the scale of the drawing? That is 10 meters. Option number one is the correct option. Anna made a scale drawing of a house and its lot. The scale she used was 1 centimeter equals 3 meters. In the drawing, the front patio is 10 centimeter long. What is the length of actual patio? That is 30 centimeter. Option number two is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. The chapter we were working on is ratios, rates, and proportions. The lessons we have covered today are unit rates, equivalent ratio word problem, compare ratios word problem, and then scale drawing word problems. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can write down in the chat box. I'm here to your questions and confusions if you have any. Any questions you can ask if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.